Okay, Gun Collector 007 here with just a quick video, and this is a little bit about the Irishman movie guns. And although I don't have the exact guns in the Irishman, I have some that are pretty close. And if you guys seen this movie, I don't want to spoil anything, so it is a spoiler alert. But so you can shut off now. But if you have seen it, you probably saw the scene where the guy, the Irishman, Frank Sheeran, is getting ready to do the hit on Crazy Joe Gallo. And he's got a bunch of guns on the bed in front of him, and he talks about different guns and which ones he wants to use for this exact hit. So early on, right off the bat, he starts talking about you want something with a little bit more stopping power than a 22. So he takes a couple of 22s and he puts those to the side. And then he talks about you definitely don't want a silencer because you want to have a little bit noise that's going to scare the crowd. So I don't have a silencer currently here with me, so I can't show you that one. And then he talks about you also don't want a 45 because a 45 is so loud that the cops could hear it a block away. So he takes that and he puts it aside. And then he talks about the gun that I just got, which is a 32 revolver. And he talks about how the cops call a 32 a woman's gun because it's a little more powerful than a 38, but it doesn't it's a lot easier to handle. So, and then that's again what he's left with is this little 32 snubby, and actually he carries two of them. So this is one I just picked up on a bidding war on Gunbroker because I just felt like I needed it for my collection, and this is it. So this is a 32 Smith & Wesson hand ejector model. They call it this because early on guns used to be like brake tops and they would snap open and inject the cartridges, and then Smith & Wesson came up with this little hand ejector. So that's all that means. You know, everything that we know in modern revolvers has this hand ejector. But that's what this was called, the 32 Smith & Wesson, and this is a pre-model 30. And most of these guns of this particular nature were made with a much longer barrel, 3 or 4 inch. I've seen a few videos out there on YouTube land, and they all have much longer barrels than this, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted a little pocket snubby, and although this is beat up a little bit, I like it because I am a collector, and this is almost 70 years old, and I just think it's cool. I love these old walnut grips with these little diamond pattern on them and the checkering, and it's a 2-piece grips, and it's got the little Smith & Wesson logo. And this is a double action or single action, and this is one of the old ones, so it does have the firing pin right there. So I'm not going to dry fire this, but this has 6 shots, which is also good. And I did a rough cleaning on this. I'm going to do another cleaning on it, but that's going to be it. I'm not going to do any kind of refinishing. So where there is a little bit of damage on the cylinder, you can see it right there, I'm going to leave it like that. So you know, it's pretty cool, and very rudimentary sights, just a blade and a flat sight. And that's it. So Smith & Wesson 32. This will shoot either a 32 Smith & Wesson, a 32 long, or a 32 short. So you have your options on it. I picked up a 32 Ivor Johnson a couple of months ago, so I have some of these 32 regular Smith & Wessons. As you can see, $37.95. They're not cheap, so this is definitely not going to be a target gun. It's going to be something that I'll probably pop, you know, 15, 20, 30 rounds through it, and then that'll be it. But it's just something I wanted for my collection. And the nice thing about this little one, this is called an I-frame, but it will fit into a J-frame holster. So I got 42,000 of those. I don't need to buy a new holster for it. So that's it. This is a gun that was very similar to the one that was used in the movie The Irishman. If you guys haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's not fantastic, but it was pretty good, pretty interesting. And that's it. All right, so thanks very much for watching. Have a good night.